Hello, good evening, and welcome to our weekly data analytics class. My name is Etuk, and on behalf of the team, I want to say welcome and thank you for joining us. As our custom is, we'll just start with a quick introduction. Today, we're looking at how to earn as a data analyst, especially within a period of 6 months. And I'll be telling you more of my story. So today is me sharing with you my journey and then showing you what I've been able to do within the period. And it's online, so we get to see one or two figures before we. So that's what we're looking at today. And the discussion, I'll share the discussion into four simple parts. And the first part is we'll look at why the topic, how to start earning as a data analyst within 6 months. That's the topic for today. In handling this topic, I'll share my own experience, how between the month of November, December, and January, I made above 3.5 million just selling one particular product. So I'll share that story, and that's the entire focus for today. So the course will be divided into four parts. Why the topic, number one. Number two, the need for you to shift in paradigm, the concepts that you use when it comes to data analytics. Then number three is how to position yourself to start earning. And then number four, 10 earning opportunities. We may look at 5 today, and we'll look at the remaining 5 in days going forward. So as our custom, we want to welcome everybody. And please, if you're in class, just say hi, just say hello. Somebody said if we do this topic today, we should expect more than 100 persons in class. So let me see the number, how we'll beat 100. We are 17 already. I know we'll beat that number today. It's a topic that a lot of persons have been itching that I should handle this topic. So here we are today. That's the topic. So if you're in class, just say hello, just say hi, or just say hello. And if you can hear me, just say sound, clear sound, so we can know. Okay, Musa Ibrahim Yakubu. Musa, you're welcome. Thank you for always being there. Mr. Emmanuel Azubike, you're welcome. Mr. Austin Benye, you're welcome. Austin Benye is somebody that is really helping and doing a lot of stuff, especially in our data community. Mr. Austin Benye, thank you very much. You're welcome. Mr. Isaac Abba, welcome. Emmanuel Chidozie, is this Favi Strings, and then Royal Sterling and Jibade Taye, Olakemi, you're welcome. Agba Olu Ebube, I got it here. Welcome. Mr. Meka Kuki, you're welcome. Mr. Konkwo, Loma, you're welcome. Emmanuel Zubike, Azizat Adebola, okay, and Ibrahim Mohammed, every other person, you kindly hit the like, and okay, thank you very much. So okay, so the sound is clear, everybody, you're Edmond Duke, you're welcome, and others, Mr. Christopher, you're all welcome. And let's get going immediately. Firstly, now, why this topic and why we're having this discussion? Over time, I've seen a lot of persons go through different programs. Maybe it could be data analytics, it could be other tech programs. And after the program, they just, like universities, they drop the pen and they go back to their normal work. They don't do anything with it. It's more like a follow-up, a continuation of that particular skill. And it becomes a bit disturbing that you actually paid for a course, you spent money to pay for the course and time, but after the course, you don't do anything with it. Secondly, I met somebody in class yesterday. She said she resigned from her work to attend my class as a data analyst. And I said, wow, that's a strong decision. So it will also be good that after the class, she is able to start something and then move on so that she can build her life from there. And I've seen most persons do data analytics, and all they are looking for, they are just applying for jobs. They've completed the course about 3 months, 6 months, 9 months ago, and they are still applying for jobs. And I tell them that while applying for jobs, there are other things you can do. So bringing all of this together, that's why I want to have this discussion with us concerning how to earn as a data analyst. So we'll start with the class at once, and I'll start by sharing with us this particular screen. So let me bring this up. So we have, let me bring up the screen we'll be using for today. Please just a sec. Okay, okay. We have the screen, and let's get. Okay. We have the screen, and let's get. I think this is clear enough for us to look at. So these are the 4 things we want to work on today. One, why the topic? I think this is clear enough. So why the topic? That's number 1. Then number 2, look at the shift. Certain things you should be conscious of. More like if we don't work on the foundation, it will be difficult to have other parts of the discussion. Then number 3 is how to become a brand when it comes to data analytics or any other tech area you're working on. Then 10 ways to earn when it comes to this particular point, this particular part you want to grow with. So to help us understand where this discussion is coming from, so let me, in just a split second, share with us my own story. So in February of 2023, that was when I took on a professional course. I went for a particular course. Interestingly, we paid the person to come train us with others in our center on data analytics. 2 weeks into the course, I applied for internship with KPMG Australia. So while I was doing the KPMG Australia internship program, I was also in a class, and I discovered that the instructor, to an extent for me, was more focused on teaching us Excel. And I've already, so I oftentimes in class, I'll be telling the instructor, why not we shift to data while we focus more in Excel? To tell us the truth, 2 weeks into the program, 3 weeks into the program, I dropped out of the program. I did not graduate. I left the class. I had to go study on my own. Now, in studying and in building my career, I completed the KPMG Australia program. When I finished the program in February, in March, I advertised my own course. And interestingly, the persons from that class, they were in the same class with me, they came and signed up for my own course. And they were the first persons to say, the way you handle this particular course is different. So that was how I started building my career as a data analyst, February 2023. And in doing that, from that beginning, one of the first things I did, which is part of the story I'll tell us today, was I had a target. And that target, even up till December 2023, I still shared it with the team when we had a meeting in Port Harcourt. And I had 2 targets. Number 1, I said that I want to be, when it comes to data analytics using Excel, I want to be the best in Nigeria. That was my first, that desire I was pushing towards. So I said, if for any reason they say they want to select the first 2, either I'll be 1 or they'll plead with me to please accept the second position. Number 1. Number 2, I also said one of the things I desired from the beginning was to be paid 1 million naira to handle a class. Maybe a class of 1 month, a class of 1 week, a class of 1 day, but I need to not be more than 1 month to be paid 1 million naira to handle a class as a data analyst. And these things kept me going, and we built. By December 2023, that is like between 10 to 11 months, we crossed that. And by January, the figures went interesting, went to a place that I would love to share with us now. So let me bring up the screen and then show us this. So this will guide us so that we'll see that what we're about to talk about, what I'm sharing with us, is not because of just figures, maybe building stories, but I want to share with us what is actually possible. Okay, so let me bring up 1 minute, please. Let me bring up my browser. I want to open my seller account and then share with us what is happening in seller. Please, 1 minute. Okay, so I hope you can see my screen. Okay, so good. So this is my platform on Seller. If you go to Seller, Seller, selar.co/m/etukanete, you see that for now I have just two products there. Number one, I have this data analytics full course for beginners. I released this course in November 19th, 2023. And so December 19th made it 1 month, and then January 19th made it 2 months. And I have this second course, which is the advanced course. And this one will be out in a couple of days. Today is 21st, so it will be out on the 24th. Now, this is where we want to pay attention to. So if I click on this particular course, if I go to this particular course, for example, it's data analytics talking about from the beginning till the end, but using a HRO data. Now, let me take you to the dashboard, more like the back end. I just want to show you one or two figures. And let me bring this up, and then we go to sales. And then we go to the total sales. Now, if you check in this particular course, so this is where I just want to show us briefly. Now, between the period of November 19th and today, we have sold, you can see this person, Anthony Onovo, just today is January 21st. So this person just bought, the cost is 7.5. So if you check up to, you can see people buying the course, the cost presently is 7,850 naira, 7,005. Then seller will add their own. So that's why you see 7,850 naira. So you can see the figure here that so far we have done about 736 units have been sold. And if you look at the figure, 3.4 million, this is not including the dollar, the pound, and the Ghana, is this Ghana shilling or something? So by the time you add all this to these amounts, we have crossed 3.5. And this is, we did this using just a simple course, and we were able to build this up to this point within a period of just 2 months. That's why I can confidently tell you that there are certain things you can do as a data analyst that will help you build not only your presence, but also build your ability to create wealth, to make income. So that's what I want to share with us today. So now let's start with the first part, the second part of our discussion. Now, the second part of our discussion is I want to mention some things that I've seen people make mistake with, and I don't want us to make this mistake. Now, if you have this, if this part, this foundation is not built, I call it shift in paradigm. That's the topic. So I call it shift in paradigm. But the idea is this: if this part, these 5 things are not clear, you don't work on them, no matter how you try to do the other ones, it may be difficult in achieving them. So let's start with the first one. The first one is that in tech, application is higher than learning. So most people, when they try to learn anything that has to do with tech, they focus on the learning part and they ignore the part where they have to practice. Now, I've seen some persons in class, when they go for a tech program, they attend classes, they take notes, they do the practice in class, but they don't go back and take up challenges. Now, to tell you the truth, when it comes to tech, whether you're into graphic design, you're into software development, you're into data analytics, or any other part in tech, as long as you don't take up challenges, you will not grow in that particular tech. Learning alone will not take you anywhere. You can watch YouTube videos, or for example, we're doing a discussion, you can watch this tutorial, but if you don't apply anything we say, it will not make you, it will not do you any good. If the same thing too in class, when we handle classes in data analytics, we tell students, I tell people that I work with, I say, see, you must apply this thing, that it is in application that you will grow, not in learning. So as long as you're in tech, I want to encourage you, don't focus on learning, especially those in my community that bought the course. The course is just the learning material, just to guide you, just to introduce you. But you will only, the course will not make you grow. That's the thing. Attending my class will not make you grow. Attending any tech, any data analytics class will not make you grow. What will actually make you grow is the challenges that you take. An example of challenges, you can take up competitions, number 1. 2, you can actually look for a data in a real business around your area and then work on it. Or you can look up sites like cargo.com and take up challenges. Now, it is in the challenge that you work on that you actually grow. That's number 1. So please, you must shift this idea of I want to go, I want to learn a course, and when you learn the course, whatever the instructor gives to you, that is what you take, and that after that you close your laptop, it is well. No, in tech, you don't grow by learning, you grow by applying, you grow by taking up challenges. Number two, mindset you need to have to be able to understand this thing is to know that skill is not equal to value. Now, most persons are focused on building the skill. I've seen people that learn data analytics for 10 years, but they have not done anything. I say, why? Now, it's just because of this simple thing. They are focused on building the skill. Now, how do we separate skill from value? Now, skill, if I learn how to make hair, for example, that's a skill. If I make somebody's hair and the person looks beautiful, that's value. Are we together? So until it becomes valuable, you will not earn much from it. Until the data analytics that you have learned or you're learning, until it becomes a solution to somebody, you will not make much from it. So while you're learning the skill, as in data analytics, one of the things you should ask yourself, your instructor, your colleagues in class, or everybody around you, or ask or begin to pay attention to is, how do I make money from this? Now, the easiest way to answer that question, how do I make money, is how can it become a solution to somebody? So if I learn how to analyze data, it's a skill. And I have businesses around my area. And one of the ways I started too was I started with a secondary school in Woji in Port Harcourt. I went to the particular school while I was learning data. I went to the particular school and I said, I've seen your data. I've seen students. I've seen the capacity. The school, a big school, both nursery, primary, and secondary. Now, don't pay me. Can I manage your data? Let me just manage your data. I don't know how you get. There was no contract. There was no agreement. But let me manage your data. After some time, if you see any value, then we can discuss payment. You can even give me anything. Interestingly, that was how I started. I took their data and I started playing with it. Are we together? So at that point, I have shifted from what is called skill to value. That is one thing you must do, one paradigm. Please don't waste, let me know the word waste. Don't take an entire 5 years to learn data analytics, then you don't have one value. No, with 1 month, with 3 months of learning data analytics, you can begin to offer value. Another way to offer value is if you're working in an office, you're in the accounting department and they're making reports, and you have just learned data analytics. Now, why not go to when you have your next reports to make, instead of doing cut and nail reports or 50 pages, why not use the data analytics skill you have just learned to build a report and submit to management? That's number two. Number three is portfolio is higher than experience. That's the next paradigm I want us to shift. I want us to shift from. Most of us, we bank on years of experience a lot. Portfolio is higher than years of experience. That's why you have somebody like Macaroni. He's doing comedy skits, and check out his result, check out what he's earning. Yet you have somebody that read theater arts, is in the movie industry, and for a period of 10 years has been in only 5 movies. Are we together? But Macaroni, I don't know what his background is academically, but you see the number of movies he releases every month. Are we together? So now what he's doing is he's building portfolio. I don't think he's up to 10 years in what he's doing as far as YouTube and others. But see these persons, they have passed number and they have only 5 movies. So why they are bent on counting their years of experience, he's bent on counting his portfolio. There's a 17-year-old teen in Port Harcourt that got a job with Apple. That discussion is online. Now imagine people with 20 years of experience in tech, they are still walking around with envelope. Yes, this 17-year-old is doing stuff. One of the reasons this is, or why should they employ a 17-year-old? Because they have seen his portfolio, his completed projects. A portfolio is a place where you put all your completed projects as somebody that is into tech. As a data analyst, please, I'll put my hand this way to plead with you, to beg you. If you don't have a portfolio, immediately after this class, I would have said, pause this video, go and build a portfolio. Immediately after this class, the first thing you should do, you should set up a portfolio. I know the question you ask me is, how do I set up a portfolio? There are websites where you can set up a portfolio, but to make it very easy so that I can continue with the discussion, just type in YouTube, how to build a portfolio. You'll see a tutorial. There is one by Alex the analyst. He has a full tutorial on how to build portfolio. I'll drop links in the description section after this class. You will see how to build a portfolio. If you don't have anyone, then take your LinkedIn. Begin to fill your LinkedIn with list of completed jobs that you have done. Number 3 is what we call the 80-20 rule. When I'm through with number 2, before I get to number 3, I'll take up your questions. So please just keep the questions. I will answer them immediately. Number 3 is what we call the 80-20 rule. Now, in the 80-20 rule, now 20% of the reason why you will succeed is because of your skill. This is one of the first things I learned when I started out many years back, that, see, when it comes to success, your skill will contribute only to different persons have done research and write-ups on this, but one Erickson said the other 80% is strategy. For me, inside that 80% inside the 80% strategy, there is a high point that has to do with selling. So I'll tell you this concerning the 80-20 rule. While you spend 20% of your time in learning data analytics, spend 80% of your time to learn what is called selling. This is what I mean. If you spend 1 hour a day, for example, to learn data analytics, consciously spend 4 hours to learn selling. It will do you good beyond data analytics. See, it will do you good anyway. Ask anybody that is doing well, including the Elon Musk, including the Jeff Bezos, including the Mark Zuckerberg, everybody down to Dangote, down to our own Port Harcourt person, Emeka Nobis, down to the Macaroni. Check anybody that is making results. You will discover that skill is not the key reason. Skill is one of the reasons, but when it comes to the ability to sell, that is one of the biggest reasons. That's why in publishing books, you don't have best writers, you don't have best authors, but you have best sellers, people that are able to sell. This is my encouragement to you. I learned selling, seriously. I learned selling. So take out time. I'll tell you, take out time to go learn selling. If you spend 1 month to learn data analytics, look for somewhere that you can learn selling, maybe in 1 week or in 1 day. You can take YouTube, just take some few videos on YouTube and learn how to sell. If you can attend a course, fine. If you can buy a book, fine. If you can watch a video, fine. If you can just read it up, fine. But learn selling. Learn how to offer something. Learn how to look at something people need, build a product around it, and then make an offer, and then consistently make that offer until they buy. Most people, when they see the figures, because I share these figures in class of what I'm doing concerning the course, when they see the figures, they say, how, as in they are excited. And I tell them, hello, it's not their excitement. Do you believe that I target to make at least 10 posts a day on Facebook, on Instagram, on X, that is Twitter, and on LinkedIn, and on my WhatsApp? Every day I try to make 10. Like this morning, check between the morning, just morning alone, I did that thing about 4, 5, or 6 posts. Every day I try to do this number of posts. What am I doing? I'm selling. I'm running advert on the course. I'm selling. I'm talking about the course. Most of my YouTube videos, when I do it, I'm selling. So this is one thing you should learn before you talk about making money. If this foundation is not built, the making money part will just sound like, it's possible, it's not possible. Then the next thing we need to look at, the next paradigm we need to shift is this, that consistency will outlive expertise. You may know how to do something, but what will make you stay, what will make you succeed over time is what your ability to stay on that particular expertise. But if you just come up, you do something once and you leave it, you come up, you do something once and you leave it, you will not get results. It will be difficult to get results. So, for example, if somebody is taking a hammer to hit a particular wall, as long as it continues to hit that particular spot, over time, the wall will crack. But if you hit it once and leave it, after 2 days, you come again, you need to start from the beginning. So I want to encourage you, be consistent with one thing. If you're like that, my students, that's okay, I've given myself to data analytics, this is what I want to do, you're sure, then I will tell you, be consistent with it. What I mean by consistency, for example, your social media post, everything you talk about should be just data. I know it sounds funny, but I do it and I'm doing it and it's helping me. So I can tell you everything I'll tell you in this class, 90% are things I am doing. So you can always go to my channels, my Facebook or my social to confirm. Within the last 12 months, the only thing I talk about on social media, 99% of the time, is related to data. Anything that happens to government, I'm not interested. It's not paying me. Is it bad to talk about government? No, it's good, but it's not paying me. So I'm not talking anything about religion. I don't talk about it. Something happened while we're walking to I don't talk about it. So even my family, I don't even bring my family online. Is it bad? Is it good? No, that's not the discussion. I want to be known for just one thing. So I want to be consistent when it comes to data, when it comes to Excel. Then when I build a presence, we can now switch to another thing. So in this first part of the discussion, what we try to achieve is to say there are certain things that will make you succeed as a data analyst. There are certain things that will make you, if these 5 things, if we don't build a foundation, every other thing we discuss may not really interest everybody. Okay, so I'll pause here, then we'll take questions, then we'll move to the next one. So if you have any question, you can ask. Personal recommendation. Because somebody said, please, you can quickly take questions. This is the time for questions. You can ask the questions, then we run with it. Okay, personal recommendation, Sell Like Crazy. Okay, yes. Ruth Ikiroko, thank you very much. There's a book called Sell Like Crazy, recommended by Ruth. Yeah, that's a good book too. Okay, somebody said the screen is not clear. I think we've talked about this over and over. That when screen is when you talk about screen, it's just your YouTube setting. Just change it from 320. Is it 320 or 240? Change it to something higher. And Austin Benye has given a hint on how to do that. Okay. Ainataya said, my question is, okay, please kindly send us the script of this brief. Yes, I'll send this. I'll drop the link to the script in the description section. Okay, so I think that should be all the questions. Now let's go to discussion number 3. We have 4 things to talk about today. So discussion number 3. Now, one other part too that we need to look at before we get into the 10 earning opportunities. The opportunities are here, so it will be easy to talk about them. But the first thing is that we must build this foundation. And like I said, for me, is to share my personal experience. So I'm using my experience to discuss with us. So it's not, it may not work for everybody, but it may work for many persons. That's number 1. Number 2, it may not necessarily be what you find in every material. So I'm telling you my own experience, what worked, and I'm sure it will also work depending on how you apply it. So the next part is you must look at you must understand that there are 2 things happening currently. Number 1 is called the influencer economy. And then number 2 is called the digital economy. Now, when we talk about the influencer economy, some universities have started picking this as a course. Now, the idea of the influencer economy is this, more like people become known for a particular thing, like a Proco doctor is known for a particular thing. So you see companies coming to advertise health-related products with him. Then you see the macaroni that we gave as an example, people come to advertise. A mechanism that I love to talk about very well. You can see what he does. I think there was a point, a real estate company, they meet him as their brand, as their person. So this sector is growing where people need somebody they can look up to, somebody that is a voice when it comes to a particular thing or a particular sector. So one of the things, the next part we want to look at is how you can build yourself to become that. Then 2 is digital economy. The digital economy is if you know how to do something physical, let's say you know how to make hair, can you convert it to a digital version? That is a soft copy. Hair, somebody can watch on system. So for example, you can take a class on how to make a particular style of hair, or if it is dress, you know how to make dress. That is the physical part. But you now turn it to a digital economy where that's dressmaking. You can maybe take a class on how to make a particular dress. Now you have turned that dressmaking to a digital copy. Or you can sell different styles. You can have maybe an ebook or a video of different styles that somebody can pick from. So it's that same product, but you have a digital part. These are 2 easy ways for anybody to make wealth presently. So that's the area we're looking at. So for some people, they call it becoming a brand. For some people, they call it positioning. So you can pick any of these, but let's look at how you can do this as a data analyst. Number 1, one of the things I did was, I told us before, from the beginning, I set a goal and I placed a price tag on it. So I will encourage you, have a goal that within this period, this is what I want to achieve, and this is the amount I want to earn. So for me, it was clear. I said within 12 months, 1 million was my price. Do you get? By December, I crossed that 1 million. When I had a meeting with my team again, I said, okay, my next price, and I'm also telling us, I'm looking forward to 5 million, being paid 5 million to handle a class. It could be a class of 1 month, or a class of 1 day, or a class of 1 week, but that is my new target. So what this does, it helps to motivate me. Some people say putting money in front is wrong. I'm not saying it is right or wrong. I'm just saying it works for me, that this is what I put in front to drive. So set a goal that place a demand on yourself. Then number 2, become perfect with a tool. Yes, it is possible to learn many tools when it comes to data analytics. For me, I tell people, for a start, try to perfect one tool before you begin to switch. I've seen people learn like 5, 6 tools, but they have not produced anything. Hello, I will encourage you, please. See this thing called tech. I'm based on my experience and based on my background. That's why I'm telling us this. I've seen people in tech doing nothing. When I mean nothing, they don't have any value, they don't have money. Then I've seen people in tech, they have value, they have money. And one of the things is they understand this thing called value. Do you get? So instead of learning, instead of just sitting down to learn Excel, Power BI, SQL, and all the tools, yet you have not solved one problem for anybody, I'll tell you no. I'll tell you openly, no. You can quote me any day. Are we together? Instead, if you learn Excel, let me take Excel, which is the simplest one. If you learn Excel, go and convert that skill to value. Then you start learning the second one. Don't just learn and then you don't have any, don't learn all the skills, then you don't have any product, any value. You're talking about how do I start? Let me tell you something. If you check, just go outside your gate, you see a shop there. You see a supermarket. You see a restaurant. You see a real estate company. You see a boutique. You see a school. What do you think is happening every day? The boutique, people come in, people come to check their clothes, and people buy, and they employ salespeople, and they bring into they get new clothes into the place. Do they have data that is managing everything? Do you get these small businesses, which is one of the things I'll tell us, one of the ways to earn very quick. These small businesses, they don't have this system, but you know that this skill will help them. So if I have learned Excel before I move to learning SQL, or while I say let me switch to the next one, with that Excel, I must perfect it to the point that I can offer a full value with it. Then I start the next one, because there's no point learning 5 skills. You're not using any of them. You're waiting for the job. You're waiting to apply for a foreign job, a local job, or to do freelancing. I'll tell you that's not the best way. I don't know about you. I don't believe in waiting, like just sit down to wait for the job to come. No. My background is we get the job. We don't wait for the job. So that's one of the things. It's good to learn the tools. Do you get? But I'll tell you, perfect one first. Then I know one thing. I've seen something online where somebody will say, learn Excel, Power BI, SQL, and Tableau in 1 month. People have asked me over time. Somebody came to me to say, I said, I can teach you Excel and Power BI 4 days a week for 4 weeks. That is for 1 month. The person said, no, I saw somewhere where they said they'll teach me Excel. They'll teach him Excel, Power BI, SQL, and Tableau in 1 month. You know what I told him? I said, so why did you come back? Why did you not register with them? Do you get? Because instead of trying to learn everything just up, perfect one tool, then you switch to the next one. Number 3 is build an outstanding portfolio, which we talked about earlier. Do you get? Your portfolio will announce you. One of the ways for people to know that, yes, you're a guru, you can influence this particular sector, is when they see your portfolio, the jobs you have completed. Now, so the jobs may not be paid jobs. You can take a project in cargo and complete it. You can take a competition by Marvin Analytics and complete it. You can do a project and then tell Alex or any other person that is very good with data analytics, look at my project and then tell me what you think. Do you get? So build an outstanding portfolio. For me, if you're doing Excel, for example, let me use Excel, permits me to use Excel. If you're working with Excel, by the time you finish the class, let's say you did a 1 month or a 2 month class, be able to complete like 5 to 6 projects. Do you get? If you complete Excel and you don't have like 4 projects completed, I'll tell you openly, you're not serious. Are we together? So because it's possible for somebody to look for 5,000 naira as his income as a data analyst, it's possible for somebody to look for 50,000. It's possible for them to look for 100,000. For me as a data analyst, I know what I'm looking for. So, and I know what I need to put in place for these things to happen. I want, if somebody comes to my platform and looks at my platform, whether it be LinkedIn or Facebook or Instagram, any of these platforms, you will see list of completed jobs. Are we together? Then number D is to rebrand your presence and then to show up. So your social, in this case, now I want to be specific because one of the easiest ways to sell, to market yourself without spending much is your social presence. A lot of us abuse it. we abuse our social media. On your social media, you quarrel with everybody. Everything that happens. If mosquito drops, you talk about it. If there's a TV show, you talk about it. If there's a scandal, you talk about it. If there's a political issue, you talk about everything. So people cannot look at you and say, this person stands for A or B. It's like there's no direction. I don't know where you get it. See, seriously, if people are looking for who they will follow, that's why you see influencer. This whole thing called influencer is working very well. People just need somebody they can always, they just think about it. Data, somebody comes to their mind. Are we together? So for you to get to that stage where you're the first person that comes to mind, you should be able to build that presence. Most people that buy my course, it's not because of, they saw it and no, it's because over time they have heard of, they say, I'll save your number. I saved your number like 2 months ago because I saw one post you made that talked about data. Are you together? So this is that presence you need to rebrand. So if data is what you want to grow in, my encouragement to you is within the next 3 months, let 80% of your content on all your social platforms be on data. It's either you're advising or you're correcting or you're showing businesses how data can help them, or you're showing other data analysts some things you discovered, or you're just talking about the project you're working on. Are we together? Then the last one is you need to make noise. You need to learn how to make noise. Your social media, I'll talk about social media a lot because I've seen social media help me a lot. Do you get? You must make noise. Make noise means you can have a very good product, but nobody knows about it. Imagine you have 10 people in this particular room. They are hungry. Then there's a lady in the next room. She's selling this particular food. If you eat for once for 5 days, you'll not be hungry. But the lady is just quiet. And these people, they are here. They are hungry. So no matter how good her product is, as long as they don't eat that particular product or they don't know about the product is not useful. So this skill that you have, you need to make noise. If you do a dashboard, place it on social media. Talk up to the point that people will get angry. That's the secret. Let me tell you one thing I did for people to get angry. When I released my course in November, in December, I did something on correlation. So I came on all social media and I said, nobody could do anything with correlation when it comes to categorical data. Now I have solved it. A lot of persons came and said, no, you're not the first person. It's a wrong statement and that. And some persons said, we saw the work you did. Very good. I did not know how to do this. So thank you. So we had different interpretation. But you know what? I got attention. It increased my followership. Are we together? So you must learn to make noise. You must learn to talk about what you do to the point that it gets the attention of people. So thank you very much. We're getting to the last part. Now, so the last part, 10 things you can do to start earning as a data analyst. Let me take 1 or 2 questions, then we'll get into that section. Please, if you have questions, you can ask now. Okay. Somebody said, must everyone become... Okay, somebody said, must everyone become a tutor after becoming an expert? I think the question is not clear, but let me interpret it if this is what you mean. If you need to become a tutor to be an expert, no, I did not say that. That's number one. Then two, if it's the question you're asking, no, you don't need to become a tutor. No. So one person can know how to teach. One person can know how to just lead. So, okay, the next question is... Okay, the next question is how were you able to prepare for the course while you were still learning? Please, these questions, check through the discussion section. If you have the answers, you can also share your answers. It will be interesting. Let it not be as if I'm the only one answering. How were you able to prepare for the course while you were still learning? Okay, so while learning, for me, whenever I'm learning any new skill, I don't learn from one instructor. So while learning from one person, I'm also learning from the other person, number one. Number two, whenever I register for any program, I always start with the end in mind. So like I said, I knew I placed a target on myself that this is the amount that I want to earn. So placing that target helps me to know what I need at that point. So even while in class from day one, I'm building the end version of it. If I don't see the end version of it, I'll leave the class. And that's what happened when I started. So one of the ways you can prepare for the course, to prepare yourself for the particular value or application of the course while learning is to see the end and be sure that from day one, it is the end you're focused on, not just the learning. Okay, what is the best way to learn? Somebody said, what is the best way to learn, online or physical? No, this question is open-ended. For some persons, they prefer online. For some persons, they prefer physical. It's open-ended. There's no right or wrong to any of them. It depends on what you, it depends on a lot of factors. For example, if somebody is in UK, I will not necessarily tell the person to pay down to Nigeria, for example, to come learn. I can tell the person, I can take you in an online class. I had a student in Indonesia, and the students, no need for the person to travel down. Do you get? I told the person paid, and the class was designed to hold online. Okay, somebody said, is it okay to focus on Excel and Power BI for 3 months and get a good job? Now, if you, I should be very careful in answering this question. Is it okay to focus on Excel and Power BI? Now, Excel is a data manipulation tool and can also do visuals, and Power BI can do visuals. In data analytics, at least have the data and the manipulation tool, at least. So when it comes to manipulation, Excel or SQL, you get these two, you must master at least one. Then when it comes to visual, for example, Power BI and Tableau, you must master at least one. The other ones, but I'm just giving us an example of these two. So yes, you can start by mastering these two. Are we together? You can start by mastering these two, then you build on it. Now, concerning whether it will get you a job, now, job is dependent on the company. For some companies, especially for those, I'll talk about it in the next section. For those that want to apply to foreign companies, you must know SQL. 90% of the foreign companies, foreign jobs, you get, both whether it is freelancing or you're working remotely, 90% of them, you would need SQL skill. So if that is your focus, then this question, you must need SQL. Do you get? But if you're working more like a contractor and you're working with clients within an environment, do you get? The client may not necessarily be interested in the tool you use as long as the result is there. Okay, so okay, so Ruth is confirming a statement. Ruth, thank you. Then how are you able to prepare for the course? Okay, we have answered. What is the limitation with Excel in data analysis? Okay, the limitation, one of the limitations in Excel is the capacity. You get, when you talk about big data, at that point, Excel may not be able to carry it very well. You look at SQL and other tools. So that's one limitation with Excel. Okay, it can only, okay, yeah, somebody said Excel. Okay, thank you very much. Somebody answered, favorite string, it can only occupy 1 million data. I think that's to answer to that question. Must someone become a tutor after becoming data analytics expert in order to earn? No, you must not become a tutor. Hello? You must not become a tutor to earn as a data analyst. Are we together? So that leads us to the last part of today's discussion, where we want to look at what are some ways to earn as a data analyst. A tutor is just one of them. So it's not even like 10% of the ways to earn as a data analyst. Okay, so let's get to the last part of our discussion today, which is the main thing. Now, how do I earn as a data analyst? Now, the choice, I'll list out the 10. I brought out the 10 already. Now, the choice of which one to pick is dependent on a lot of things. Number one, it depends on the skill, whether you know how to use both Excel and Power BI and Tableau and SQL. For example, if you want to apply for foreign jobs, you should know how to use SQL. You get, you must know how to use SQL. If you're working as an independent contractor, working with small businesses around your vicinity, you can do that with just Excel and nobody will question the tool. So know that the one you pick, there are some conditions. So let's start with the first ones. I'll take the easy ones, then I'll build it. I'll build from there. So one of the first ways to earn, I'll tell you, is to become a consultant and to work with small businesses. In fact, in the list of, in the things we have, in the 10 that I will list, this is one of the easiest ones. Not everybody will do white collar job. Not everybody will do office work. Do you get? So while you're building your skill, especially at the point where you're building, I'll tell you, act as a consultant and look for small businesses around your area and begin to work with them. Now, the thing is, these businesses, most of them, they cannot employ a full-time staff. Do you get? And they have a problem organizing their data. So you can step into a business. I give the example of how I started with a school in Port Harcourt. You can do this with these small businesses. For example, you have restaurants, you have real estate companies, you have shops, you have boutiques, businesses that you see that they move, that data moves through the business a lot within a particular time. You can approach this business and you tell them, see, I can help you set up your data. I can help you set up a template to manage your data. Now, I can do this and don't pay me. I'll do it as a voluntary service for a period of 1 month, 2 months. Do you get? Now, if after this period you look at it and you like it, we can then discuss payments. If after this period you discover that it's helping your business to grow, it's helping your decision making, it's helping to fine-tune your business, then we can discuss the payments. Are we together? Now, on your own part, this is what it will help you with. You're still building, so you can use that business to also learn. Hello. So you remember I said something that application is higher than learning. So while you're learning in class, what you have learned in class, now you have a real life data that you can practice what you have learned. So there is no way. I'm using Lagos, for example. I'm in Lagos as we speak. Just come outside the estate. You see shops everywhere. Do you get? You see businesses. So from microfinance banks to schools to just simple businesses that you can have direct access with the owner. In fact, another easy way to start is to start with people you know, family, friends. You can talk to them. Okay, let me manage your data. I can help you fine-tune it. Do you get? Now, the beautiful thing is when you want to discuss payments with them, there are different ways you can make money from them. What I did, I told them to pay me, they will pay me a setup fee. Now, setup fee means to analyze the data, to build a dashboard, and to give to them. Then if they want, they can then pay a retainer fee. Now, retainer fee means maybe every week or every month, I'll analyze their data and give them a report, or every term, I'll analyze their data and give them a report. Are we together? So this is one of the easiest ways to start. You can start out as a consultant. For me, I will encourage every person, especially entry level. You have learned Excel, Power BI, SQL, and Tableau. Good, congratulations. What next? You have applied to 100 jobs and you have been applying for 6 months and your certificate is dusty. No, that's not the pattern. Are we together? So while even 1 month into your program, you have learned the basics. From the beginning, you understand the 5 processes involved in data analysis. You understand how to take data, how to build hypotheses, how to do objectives, up to the point of building a dashboard and presenting a dashboard. If you have covered that with even just 1 tool, begin to work with small businesses around your area. Now, imagine what happens. For example, you have a small business. Let's say they pay you 50,000 or they pay you 100,000, and you have 10 businesses that you consult for. Are we together? So if they do 100,000 and you have 10 businesses you consult for, that is 1 million. You're working from home. You're not under anybody's payroll directly. You're not under anybody's control. You're an independent contractor. Are we together? That's one of the easiest ways to start as a data analyst. Please, while you're applying for jobs, I'm serious on this. While you're applying for jobs, look for businesses to start building their data. Help them organize their data. Help them set up the system to work on the data. That's number one. I'm looking at the question section if we have any questions. Number 2 is you can begin to take private lenses. For example, if you know how to use SQL very well, or you know how to use Excel very well. Pardon me if I use Excel as an example. For me, the figures I showed us is just using Excel. So somebody asked me today, with Excel, can I? I said, with Excel, I've done a figure within 2 months, just Excel. Do you get? So let me use Excel as an example. So with Excel, you can begin to take private classes. For example, you can take private class, even in your house, your students can come there, or you visit the person in the person's office. Maybe the person is handling a particular, let's say some accountants that don't know how to use Excel. You can show them how to use Excel. You can take classes with them and you can pay them a fee. You can train an entire department. You can take online classes. Are we together? Now, let me tell you something about online classes. Now, if you're very good, let's say, for example, you're very good with dashboard. I'm giving you this. You can organize a class where you teach only dashboard and you can bring the persons to WhatsApp. Maybe have a community in WhatsApp. I do it. Presently, I have communities. Members of my communities, I have about 4 to 5 data analytics communities. Some of them, we have about 250 members in each. So Imagine this, that you have an online, you have a community, it's on WhatsApp, and you hold a class with them, probably once a week. You have your job, you're working, maybe you're a banker. Do you get? So Monday to Friday, you're in the office, you're doing your job as a banker. Then you have a class with them, maybe on Saturdays or on Sundays. And you have this class, and you charge them as low as maybe 2,000 naira or 5,000 naira a month. Just something simple, not heavy. So between 5,000. If you have 200 people in your WhatsApp, in your community, and you charge them 5,000, that's 1 million naira a month. Do you get? So if you do that, and then you offer this service, you provide them this service, you give them value to the point that they recommend to others. You get? So at a point, you begin to have people manage the communities for you while you're setting up more communities. So by just doing this, you will be able to build a system. That's why I said one of the things you need to sell, you need to learn, is how to sell. Because almost 90% of everything I'll list here will be based on your ability to sell. If you know how to sell, it will work very easy. But if you don't know how to sell, it will be, I'll give you a suggestion. And one of the suggestions is you can add somebody to your team that has the ability to sell. Okay. Number 3 is you can create a YouTube channel or a blog. At this point, you're looking at content creation. That is what you want to sell. So I'm using YouTube channel, YouTube and blog, but it also includes maybe a Telegram channel. I think they call it channel. Yes, Telegram. You can do something on maybe Facebook and LinkedIn. On all these platforms, you can create. You can begin to share videos, to share content periodically. So you can write articles on your blog. You can focus on how to. Maybe I had a challenge this morning. I was working on one of the courses, and I discovered that when I filter, I wrote a formula using count A. Now, when I filter, the count A is still showing me the total. Let's say the row, we had 250. When I filter and the row reduces to 50, the count A is still showing me 250. So I quickly checked how to handle that. I now discovered subtotal. Are we together? So you can do simple how-to videos, plenty of them. So when people watch these videos and your viewership increases, now on these videos, you can begin to sell your services. You can begin to sell, maybe I can teach you more on this. Or you can build yourself to the place where you bring other people's products and then advertise it on your platform. Now, these are the ways you can use to make money more from this, your channel. So, but this one is not a short-term stuff. This is a long-term. It's not something that will happen within 30 days, within 60 days. You need to build capacity. For some persons, it may take a year. For some persons, it may take 6 months. I've been building my YouTube. Do you get? For now, I have around 1,500 or so. So my YouTube, I'm not earning directly from YouTube, but people come to my YouTube and then they buy my course from YouTube. For example, last Sunday, in last Sunday's class, I said my course, you can get the course. If you buy the course, during the video, I said if you buy the course for a particular amount, I did a discount during the class. Because of that discount, the sales for that particular day popped. Do you get? So this is me using YouTube to earn. So you can use it in different ways. Then we've talked about, we've done 1, 2, 3. So let's look at number 4. Number 4 is you can create a course. For me, that's what I did. You can see that in the entire list of 10 or 20 is just only one that I'm using now, as in terms of the amount. Now you can create a course. Now the course, for example, you can make it advanced or beginner. If you know SQL very well, like I have a colleague that knows SQL very well. His name is Chinex. And I told him, see, one of the things you can do is to build a course in SQL, because most of the things, a lot of persons don't know it. Do you get? If you know Python, you can build a course. You can sell. There are different platforms, from Udemy to Seller to Coursera. These platforms, you can sell these particular courses. And let me tell you the truth, when you build the course, remember, 20% is the course, 80% is your ability to sell the course. So you need to look at how to sell. Now, when you sell that course, the beautiful thing is, for life, you get passive income. As you're working, the money is dropping in your accounts. Then something about teaching. Let me tell us something about teaching too. Now, so when you're teaching, ensure that you give your clients the highest value. And especially for those doing anything online, please, I want to tell us to do something about integrity and credibility. There's a lot of complaint when it comes to Nigerians. I'll give us a practical example. Nigerians are money, and the whole dubious and trying to scam people and do things with money. So there's this impression, immediately you say you're a Nigerian and you sell things online, people try to be careful. I had a student in December. The student paid 150 for a class. And that was the period we're trying to set up a new office. I had to take care of family and we had to travel. So I was in motion almost always. So I missed about 2 classes. His work also, because of the time difference, he also missed about 1 or 2 classes. One of the days, we decided to sit down and say, okay, what should we do about it? We ended up concluding, okay, if I can return the money. While we were talking, I told him, send me your account. He did, and I returned the money. You know, the first thing he said, this is integrity. Do you get? He bought even my new course that is not out yet. He bought that course. So that's one of the things we can build. One of the ways to build your credibility, do you get, to maintain this particular brand, to build this, is people should trust you. Do you get? So whatever you're selling online, give the persons the best service. Somebody met me, the owner of a company wrote me yesterday via LinkedIn that he wants me to build a system for his business, that he has seen the dashboard I did concerning sales. It will work for him to monitor his staff, but he wants it to be online. And I told him, for now, I have the offline version. I don't have the online, but I have somebody that can give you the online. Do you get? I would have said, okay, I can do the online. Do you get? I can do all things through Christ. That sometimes we quote that scripture out of place. Do you get? I can do all things. No. I told him, see, this is where I can do it offline. I can't do it online. He said, no, he wants somebody to do it online. I said, fine, I can refer somebody. Do you get? So if you know you will not be the best, you can't give somebody the best, then don't do it. Don't take somebody's money and then give half service and then bring bad name. You get to the whole service. The next one I want to talk about, which is number 5, I think I'll stop with this one. Then I'll send us the link of these other ones. I'll send up write-ups that we can read because my time is almost 8 o'clock. Is you can begin to sell templates. I have somebody in Port Harcourt that does this very well. Now, what he does is businesses. He will go to, for example, he will study a particular sector. So in this one, you need to study a particular sector. Let's say what he did was for filling stations. He studied filling stations so well, he understood the entire process. So he built dashboards and sold the dashboard. So a business owner can come at the end of the day, just put in A, B, C, D figure. They don't need to know anything about data analytics. They don't need to employ any data analyst. Just looking at the system, the business owner can put A, B, C, and quickly the chart will change. The whole system will analyze itself and then bring up basic charts that will help the person understand what is happening in the business. So you can build templates and sell. So what I was suggesting this is you need to understand a sector very well. For example, if it is something that has to do with, let's say, real estate, you need to understand real estate, how data moves in the entire system, understand it, analyze it, then build this template, then try and locate 50 real estate companies to sell it to, 100 real estate companies to sell it online. Etsy is a platform where you can sell things like this. So you can sell it online, you can sell it physically, you can locate companies around you and then tell them this can help your business. And you know what? It runs independent. That means you don't need me or any other person. Maybe you get it on your own, you can handle it. Are we together? So you can sell templates. Now, briefly, I'll mention other ones, then you can work with them as we go. So I've mentioned you can build and sell templates. Then another one is number 2 here is you can help businesses to set up data systems. Some businesses, they don't have any way of keeping records. You get most businesses, ladies, please forgive me, most businesses managed by ladies, especially small businesses, they don't have any form of record, as in most people doing supermarkets, they will just order stuff, fill the shop, and then they will sell. So there's no way of understanding what is happening. So most of these small businesses, they don't have any means, no record, nothing. You can approach these businesses and then help them set this up. So just to set up a way of managing data in their business. Then I've talked about how to become a consultant working with small businesses. Then I've talked, then you can also get a job. Do you get? So in getting a job, one of the things you note this, you will definitely need SQL, especially if you're working with foreign companies, you're targeting foreign companies. So get a job, you have to apply. And in getting a job, your CV must be intact, your LinkedIn must be very good. You get, and then your portfolio must be ready. And then you have to apply. Some people apply for 10 jobs and they are tired. Look at most of the persons that share their testimonies on YouTube and other platforms. Some of them will tell you they apply to more than 100 places. Do you get? So keep applying. Don't just apply to one place and then stop. But for me, for those that talk about applying for jobs, I always say, please don't fold your hands. Don't wait while applying for jobs. While you're waiting for the job, do these other ones. Another one again is begin to volunteer. Do you get? I mentioned it too. Look for companies, volunteer, offer your services. And one careful thing is offer it for free first. Tell the person if you see the value, sorry, whereas I build the value, then you pay for it. As an entry level person, it also helps you to learn. Do you get? Then teach. I've talked about teach. I've talked about create a course. I've talked about become a content creator. Then you can take specific skill. For example, how to do bookkeeping. Do you get? If you're a consult, if you're most small businesses too, they don't have this thing of keeping data at all. I've mentioned that one. Then the final one I want to add, which is number 10, is not here, is being a consultant based on your background. So based on your background, your skill. For example, you read accounting, so you understand accounting very well. So instead of working with a client or a company as just an accountant, you can add your data analytics skill and then you become a financial analyst. You can see you have improved. Do you get? So you're not just presenting their total sales or their profit and loss statements. No, you also have a chart that based on this profit and loss, as an accountant, you have prepared this profit and loss. As a financial analyst, you're telling them based on this is what happened in the business, this is the direction, these are possible areas we should look into when it comes to investments and other things. So in my own personal experience, these are some simple ways you can begin to earn as a data analyst. But look at everything that we have shared today. Number one thing, remember the first 5 things we talked about, that when it comes to earning on any platform, irrespective of analytics, you must be conscious of these 5 things: that application is higher than learning, skill is not equal to value, portfolio is higher than years of experience, then the 80-20 rule, then be consistent. Amongst these 5, if you ask me, the D is the most important. Learn how to sell. Please learn how to sell. That's how I'll summarize today's class. If there's one thing you asked me in today's class, is the truth, the difference between any 2 data analysts. One of the key things that will stand as different between 2 data analysts is who can sell better. So learn how to sell. You get? I know you're scared of marketing and sales, but learn it. When you post on your Facebook, when you post about the new car you just bought or the wedding you're attending, you're selling actually. So now fine-tune it towards data. Learn how to sell. So with these 3 points of mine, I hope I've been able to make us see reasons why to see data analytics as an open playing field with lots of opportunities, that you can grow with it, you can succeed with it, both financially and in career-wise, and why you should not wait. Don't wait until you have the white-collar job, until they call you from UK, until you have the remote work, until the company in Lagos calls you, before you start saying, okay, I have arrived. No, from that little place, from just your laptop and just your room and just a light and just a phone, you can start making that difference. You can use and just write a simple proposal to a company. Or if you're in a family where there are a lot of business owners, you don't need to prepare a proposal. You just visit them and then pitch to maybe 5-10 of them. There's no how one person will not say, let me give you a try. You can tell the person, see, if I do it for you and it works, I don't want you to pay me, but please, you will introduce me to 2 of your other business owners, and you will encourage them to pay me. Do you get? So these are ways you can carefully grow yourself. So we'll take questions and then we'll close. Questions, please, if you ask question and I did not attend to it, just bring it up. We'll use 5 minutes to answer questions. If you got value from this discussion, please, I would appreciate if you also share it. If you like, subscribe to the channel. We meet every Sunday by 7 p.m. every Sunday, and we've been doing that for some Sundays, and we thank God for the strength. One of the ways you can encourage us to do more and to come up with more topics is to subscribe to the channel, share, talk about me. My name is Etuk. If you found value in what we discussed, share the insights you got, and also mention me on any platform. Etuk and Etuk. You will see me on any platform, and I really appreciate it. Are you the principles governing? Are there principles? Okay, so let me take from. Please clarify the spelling for the website to get more data. Okay, so somebody said clarify the spelling of the website. The website is www.kaggle.com. Cargo. So that's the name of the website, kaggle.com. Okay. If I don't answer if I miss your question, please just ask the question again because I'm trying to buy time. So somebody said, are there principles that govern learning data analytics? Yes, one of the principles, and I shared in class today, is application is higher than learning. For everything that you learn in class, quickly look for a way to apply it. Quickly look for a challenge to apply it. So if for today, for example, let me give you an example. Let's say in today's class, you learned modeling. Do you get? Or you learned cleaning. You learned how to get data and how to clean data. That is ETL, extract, transform, and load. Look for a company or a data set that you can on your own extract, transform, and load. That's one of the best ways to learn anything in tech. The learning, the skill, you grow not just in learning, you grow by practice, by application. Okay, what kind of data do we request from the business? Okay, if they ask you to analyze maybe their sales performance, you need data that has to do with sales. Are we together? If they ask you to analyze their customer service, customer maybe churn rate, you get, then you need their data where customers give feedback, maybe rating or something. So the data is with respect to the objective of the analysis. Okay, somebody said, I'm asking about a school. Good. The school can check the growth rate over a period. They can check the performance of the students with respect to teachers or with respect to a particular class. If the performance is dropping, you get, or increasing. They can also evaluate parents' feedback. So they use that to monitor what is happening. So the data can run from both the finance, both to the administration, both to the marketing of the schools and their products, and the quality of their service and the performance of the students. Okay, the next question is okay, thank you, Ruth. Ruth, I've answered that question already. Austin, Python is advanced data analytics for beginners, Excel and SQL. Okay, thank you, Ruth and Austin. Ruth and Austin, they are also part of the team. They are community members. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Somebody said, what type of data do we collect from? Okay, we've answered that one. Somebody said, thank you for all. I joined advice on the minimum tools that you can make you a full-fledged data analyst. The minimum tools that can make you a full-fledged data analyst, I will suggest minimum. One is you need a data manipulation tool. So either Excel or SQL, a data manipulation tool. You need at least one of these two. Two, you need a data visualization tool. So Power BI or Tableau. So these two, you must have at least one from each. Okay, somebody's okay, awesome. Said most of these small businesses do not have data. How do you start with these ones? No data to analyze. Good, that's where the money is. You help them create a system to collect the data. So for example, let's say it's a boutique, and you tell them, okay, if the owner of the business has a laptop, fine. You can set up an Excel sheet. So whenever the person buys, the person can input the figures inside the system. If the person says he does not have time to input the figures, good, that's money for you, for me. We tell them we can help them put the figures, or they can pay somebody to help them put the figures. Do you get? So most of the majority of the small businesses, I'll tell you, they don't have records. So helping, that's what we say, you can charge to set up the system for them. So part of the setup process is to also create the data that did not exist. Okay, and somebody said, yes, you can use their manual. So some of them, they have the data, but it's in manual, maybe it's in notebook. So you can help them. They can pay a typist or somebody, the person can help them type. You create the Excel sheet, the person can help them type the data in the Excel sheet. Ruth Kiriko, thank you very much. When you take data from school, do you still need to clean them? Somebody said, when you take data from school, do you still need to clean them? Majority of the data sets, 90% of the time, the data sets that will come to you will be dirty. So if the data is clean, you don't need to, but if it is dirty, you need to clean it. Okay, somebody said, how can I get data from small or local businesses in my area? Let me give you an example. Let's say a bookshop, a shop where they sell books and other things like this. You can confirm from them. Preferably start with people you know. That's one thing, so that you be careful. You know, there's this thing of trust. So some people will not just openly give you their data. Start with people you know. So you have a cousin, brother, friend that owns a bookshop. Simply, you can tell the person, Okay, do you have data? And the person says, I do, is in my notebook. You can tell the person, okay, I can help you set up an Excel sheet that this data can be stored in that Excel sheet, so that that's like a database and we can analyze it. So you get that, and the person pays, maybe a typist somewhere in one business center can help you put the data. You may not have the time to put the data, so the typist can help you put the data. From there, the work starts. If they don't have it, then you can help them create it. So either they start with notebook, then you convert it to the system, or you go straight to the system, they put it directly in the system. Okay, somebody said, I would like to sell filling station template, but don't know how to go about it. I want to assume that is Mr. Fuller Kemi. I think that should be Fuller Kemi. I want to assume you understand the business very well and you've built the templates. Then the next thing is to sell. Simply, if you know somebody that knows somebody, that's an easy way to start. So somebody should reference. I know this young man. He has done something for me, or is my relation or something. Please listen to him. That reference saves you a lot in marketing. What if you don't know anybody? Then in that case, you need to target. I used to tell people, for you to start marketing, target at least 10 persons, 10 filling stations. Try and meet with the business owner. Show them the value you're providing. Show them how to help their businesses. Out of the 10 in marketing, they call it a ratio of 10 to 1. Out of the 10, at least one will tell you, let's listen. Okay. Do you have a plan to build an SQL course soon? Yes, I'm building. I'm building a complete series. I'll build it up to Python. So immediately Excel. I'll build 3 courses in Excel. So let me tell us this. I'll build 3 courses in Excel. Then I'll do in Power BI, SQL, and Python. That's the plan for this year. So yes, I'm building a course on that. And for those that have not bought my course, I want to encourage you, if you check seller.co /etuk, you see the courses I've built. You get. I want to encourage you to buy these courses. Next person, if you're interested in learning data analytics entry, how to collect data, you can reach out. Okay. Somebody's advertising here, so no problem. It's okay. It's selling. So let's continue with it. As an engineer, somebody says, as an engineer, how do I apply it to engineering? As long as data, immediately we understand what data is, we'll discover that you can apply data anywhere. Data means information, facts. So if you're an engineer, maybe you're in charge of a station, and there's a time to turn off a particular valve and a time to turn on a particular valve. That's data. What amount of liquid passed through that valve at a particular time? Those things that are recorded, data. There's no sector I can tell anybody that does not have data that they work with. So as long as you have data, facts moving within the system, you have data to work with. Okay, one can even run an ad. Okay, please, is there a replay of the class? Yes, there's a replay of the class. It's on YouTube. So is it okay to focus? Somebody said, is it okay to focus on Excel and Power BI for 3 months and get a job? I've answered that question. Yes. Please, how do you drive sales to seller using Facebook ads? How do we do this integration? Okay, yes, that's very easy, but so that we don't take time, just check YouTube. There are short videos, more like 5-10 minutes videos on how to run ads on Facebook to go to your seller. One of the things, you can use the link of the course for your adverts. That's what we did. Because can we get the materials for this class? Yes, the materials will be made available in the description section. Okay, please kindly mention again where to get projects. Okay, I said cargo.com, www.kaggle.com. Excuse me. Okay, someone said today we are told me that statistics is a data analytics language. He said, okay, good evening, sir. Today one told me that statistics is a data analytics language. He said, after learning all tools, we need to learn statistics too. Please, can we throw more light on it? So I use 2 things. So I'll answer another question. Somebody said maths, if maths is a determinant. And I said maths is not a determinant, but maths, if you have maths background, it's an advantage. Are we together? Now, statistics, you will need statistics, but it's not a determinant. Interestingly, Excel has a button that you can do the basics statistics. So learning statistics is also good, because when you get to the analytics part, it will give you an advantage. Okay, what tools can we use to collect data? You can use Excel to collect data. If I get you very well, what kind of data do you get from a boutique? For example, the number of sales they made on a particular day. For example, their salary that they pay their staff. For example, their financial details, how much they spent to get the material, the clothes, and what they sold it for, and their delivery details. When did they do their last stocking? They can get customer feedback. Lots of data they can get from that. Okay, then using using Excel Power Query, one can actually overcome the Excel limitation. Power Query can handle unlimited number of data sets. Okay, you can use so you can use point of sale to collect data. Yes, for like when people come to a boutique or a mall to buy things. When they scan the product, you get and you make payment and the receipt comes up. That's data they are collecting. Can I get data from my church? Yes, you can get data from your church. You can help them analyze them attendance. You can analyze them attendance and then check gender and then check age group to use it to advise the church on certain programs. So if maybe you get a data of the age groups and the gender, and maybe you discover that they have a lot of young people, then you can tell them to periodically organize program for young people. Let me give you an example of there's this church in Port Harcourt, House on the Rock. House on the Rock. Have you noticed that every Sunday they do jazz? I think there's a jazz night or something they do every Sunday. I think over time they have understood that they have a lot of young people. Do you get? So they are cooking up programs always to attract more young people. So from a church, you can analyze data and then help them to fine tune what programs to organize part time. If they have lots of ladies, young ladies, not married yet, then they can know the type of program that will help get more of that. Okay, somebody said, can we use Google Forms to collect data? Yes, we can use Google Forms. Somebody said, can we use, okay, aside HRU and advanced Excel to be launched, are there other ones you have built? Yes. To overcome the Excel limitation of going beyond, you need Power BI. Yeah, Power BI. I mentioned it that's one of the limitations when it comes to Excel. Then how do you get data from for a home budgeting template for the family? What do you need? For example, budgeting. So when you're talking about budgeting, you're talking about in and out. The sources, money that comes in and the source, and the money that goes out and the source. So you need to say, okay, this is the money this is the amount we plan to spend based on our capacity. For example, the husband earns 500 and the wife earns, let's say, 600. So out of this total amount, that is like 1.1 million. And from there, they say, okay, we want to budget this amount to take care of the house. Let's say we want to budget 300,000. So from that, they will now say, okay, what are the things that we will what are the things that we need to manage or design that the 300 can take care of. And over time, they begin to check which one is very high or very low, so that per time they can know which one to work on. Maybe they discover that the money they spend on making calls, do you get, is too high and it's not really helpful, whereas they can do WhatsApp call or something else. They can use that to fine-tune their system. Okay, what data? I'll answer. I think that's all. What data can we collect for the purpose of analyzing in a supermarket? They can check which product is selling very well, and they can use that to know which products to order more. So using the receipts, they can check if whenever people buy Bonvita or whenever people buy Peak Milk, if they discover that almost 90% of people that buy Peak Milk also buy Bonvita, that's a data to let them know that, okay, when you're display Bonvita close to Peak Milk, always make sure that Bonvita is in stock the same way you have Peak Milk in stock. Okay, please, can data analysts use Google Sheet to analyze data? Yes, you can use Google Sheet. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Today's class was an interesting one. I hope you got value from it. Please, if you got value, I would love to hear from us that today's class was good or not good, or where do you think we should make correction, or which topic we should handle next. Or you can also say, okay, no, this particular part I agree or I don't agree. I would also love to hear from you, to learn from you. Okay, please, can I get feedback of today's class? feedback. If I have just 5 feedbacks, I think that will be okay. So it will help us to know today's class if we got value for it or where we need to improve with respect to the next class. Okay, so we have one response. I have the first response here. The class from Rhapsody Grab, the class was great. Sir, God bless you. Thank you. From Ruth Kiriko, it was packed. Madam Ruth, thank you. The class is Mr. Emmanuel. The class is value packed. Thank you very much. Ajibade Taye said good. And Adewale said, seriously, this is an invaluable class. Thanks a million. Oh, thank you very much. Okay, please, can somebody can at least one person say this class, tell us one part that the class was not good so that I can make correction. I need at least one part that the class, don't just say the class was not good. Mention the actual part that is not good. Okay. Udefi Henrietta said it was a great one. Thank you, Udefi. Henrietta Uzoma said class was wonderful and the value is 100%. Oh, ladies used to say, oh, thank you very much. Okay. And then Evlenda said, good value. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thanks so much. Onoma, right? I got the pronunciation. Say thanks so much for this class. It eliminates doubts. Thank you very much. And then this class was very good. That is so much, especially learning areas to end. Thank you very much. I'll end the class in the next 3 minutes. Please bear with me. Josephine said it was a very impactful and detailed section. I can't wait to watch the replay. Thank you very much. Aliyu said today's class is very superb. I love to see more of this. Thank you very much. Okay, please, can we start suggesting which topic will you want me to handle next Sunday? Which topic do you want my team and I to research on and then handle next Sunday? Please, I need suggestions. Today's Eunice said, yes, I got value and it was very educative and enlightening. Thank you very much. Abba said, I gained so many insights. Thank you, Mr. Nyeti. Fulakemi said, thank you so much. Thank you, Fulakemi. The class was great. That is from Uduak Obon. Thank you. Here, and then Vivian said, I got value. Thank you. Thank you, sir. From Chioma. Good evening, great instructor. Please, will the video be available for replay? Yes, Mr. Uyumed, that it will be available. And the class is so impactful. That is from Anyete. Oh, my namesake, Anyete George. Thanks for connecting with you. Thank you for the feedback. Uduak Obon said, great class. Thank you. Please, I need suggestions for next class. This is 8:23. We'll end exactly 8:25. Awesome class from Royal Sterling. Thank you. Chioma said, I feel like next class we should learn about kinds of data to collect from different sectors. So I'm taking notes of these kinds of data to collect from different sectors. Okay, that's from Chioma. And then Dixon said it's great. The class is good as always. Ayo, you're a darling. Thank you very much. Oh, hope Ayo is, if he's a lady, please, or if he's a guy, please don't mind my saying he's a darling. Okay, Ruben, thank you so much for the class. Very insightful. And then we have enough time to learn more. That is the only challenge. It's because of the timing. That's why I try to reduce it to 1 hour. Thanks for the insight. Very useful. I love the class. Okay, I'm looking for topics. Please handle domain knowledge into different areas. Okay, Ruben said domain knowledge. Okay, so Ruben, can you suggest any domain? Next class should focus on different sectors to get data and information. Okay, so I think I'm getting the vibe. We can focus on one sector and specifically work on that sector. Okay, my team, they're also here. We'll look at it. Austin Bayen is here. Ruth Kiriko is here. We would work on it. Feel that the class we should learn about kinds of data to collect from different sectors. Okay, so is it 24? Thank you so much. Your explanation was fantastic. It's really motivated me. That is Emmanuel. Thank you. I'm waiting for the replay. It's always there. You will get it. It's been a collection technique. Let's learn data collection techniques. Okay. Okay. So how many of us know how to do web scraping? Web scraping or how to create Google form? Will that we can build from them. Okay, how to set up templates for business ownership. Okay. Next class, how to build a particular template. getting data from supermarket, filling station, and this, that. Okay. Okay. So on these notes, I suggest we do research. So please, health, domain knowledge, data collection. So once again, on behalf of my team and I want to say thank you very much to everybody that took our time to join today's class. I wish us a very beautiful and fine week. People are still commenting. Okay, people are still commenting. Okay, I'll just close the class, then I'll give 1 or 2 more minutes to look at the questions and the comments so that we'll handle as many as we can. So thank you very much for joining today's class. Thank you so much. I wish us a very fine week. Remember, we're meeting again next Sunday, 7 p.m. Talk to your friends, invite them. Even your enemies, invite them. They might become friends because of this opportunity you shared with them. So see you next Sunday. Have a very fine week. Okay, so in the questions, let's see. Domain, somebody said domain knowledge, like sales, HRO, health. Okay, I'm seeing that's from Ruben. Then Josephine said healthcare, please. Okay. Google form, awesome. Google form, yes. Web scraping, no. Okay. Oh, okay. I'm seeing how many persons now on health. Okay, health. Let's all like the video and comment. Yeah, thank you very much. Please remember to like the video, share, comment. For further information, you can reach out for suggested topics and collaboration. Thank you. Okay, so I'm seeing Google Form. I know about Google Form setup. Okay, okay. Domain knowledge, healthcare. I've seen about 3 to 4 discussion concerning healthcare data. And I've seen something about how to collect data. And then I've seen something on domain knowledge, these 3. So we'll build around these 3. Is that okay? So thank you very much. Please permit me to end the class here so that we can continue with other things. Have a great week. Have a great evening.